Hi, hello, welcome to the Galactic Consulship report brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Pieces of Blosi. I'll be your oracle today. I was sent to deliberate the findings for the Aquarius rising. If you do not know your rising sign, start with your North Node. Everything else decreases in accuracy. So sometimes you check multiple signs. Check your rising first. If you don't know your rising, check your North Node. Okay, so we got the Tower, Eight of Cups, Five of Swords, Five of Pentacles. Vertex of Abundance is the galactic temple of ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. If anything resonates deeply with you, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a session, send a donation. We will be imposing the guidance from This But Her Tarot by Isabella Rotman. That's over at Liminal 11 Publishing. We're going to lay 4 cards. It's the overall energy as we gathered here today for the Galactic Consulship around Aquarius energy. If you're new, welcome home, you belong. If you are returning, welcome back. Thank you for your continued support. It's a delight and an honor and a privilege to serve you. Thank you for allowing me to do so. The overall energy is the Tower, Eight of Cups, Five of Swords, Five of Pentacles. Again, Tower, Eight of Cups, Five of Swords, Five of Pentacles. Any other cards that we lay are going to clarify or modify the meaning of these 4 cards here. The Tower is a rupture, sometimes a collapse, but it also could just be an awakening, some type of revelation, usually disturbing or shocking, like unknown. It's typically related to like the truth coming out. It can even be like the cosmic eject button if there's been something really hinky going on. With the Eight of Cups, it's actually withdrawal. It means other things, but it's withdrawal. So it could also mean getting up from the table or leaving something behind or ascending to higher heights, some kind of, I don't know how to say this, like pilgrimage or maturity or exploration, especially like learning spiritual skills. Five of Swords is boundaries and standards. Technically, this means an open betrayal, an open enemy. Seven of Swords, think of that as manipulation. Think of this Five of Swords as betrayal. Five of Pentacles is like, I'm hearing the word collapse, but it's destabilization, debilitation, decline. It means a hardship. Typically, there's stinking thinking. You need to ask, petition the universe or an institution for help. A pair of fives is the decline, destabilization, debilitation. It's also chaos of some kind or forced change. Five of Pentacles in and of itself can be forced change. And this is like a quickening of spiritual karma, typically because there's a lack of spiritual tenets. So this will kind of let you know the parts of yourself that you've ignored or are not facing, haven't accomplished, haven't tackled. I think of Eight of Cups in the Tower as like the dusty cobwebs in your soul. It's something that you haven't, a corner of your psyche, of your spirit that you haven't gone to and cleaned out recently, and the universe is letting you know, kind of deal. We have the Two of Wands with the Eight of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Knight of Wands. So Two of Wands Tower, that's definitely Mars in Aries, Mars in the first house, but it also can be weighing up options because something's going to hit. So the thing about the Two of Wands is it's definitely a choice. There's other words for other twos. Other twos might be barred or negotiation. It might be decide. This is choose. Choose is different from decide, as one is a sacrifice, the other is a compromise. Priestess, what's the difference? When you choose, you compromise, meaning you still get something. When you decide, you sacrifice, meaning you might go without. We have a pair of eights here, 8 of Wands, 8 of Cups. That can be spending a lot of time, energy, effort, attention, and in place, time, and indulgences. It also could be manipulation, energy projection, spiritual manipulation. It also could just be simply spell work. When we have double five, that's also witchcraft. So it's coming here already. We also have one of the baneful brigado here. So tower or the moon or the devil can let you know that there's some kind of rinky dinky tweaky here, some kind of brujeria, santeria, some kind of strigeria benederia, abracadabra, hocus pocus, rucucu, malinconia, malangroso, something like that. Knight of Wands, 8 of Wands, that's wanting to expand, wanting to quicken. Knight of Wands, 2 of Wands, wanting to, it's like being at the crossroads, wanting to choose a way. And it's going to be a reckoning either way. It's almost as if, like, whatever we choose is going to make waves. Darned if you do, darned if you don't kind of deal. But there's a seal of protection here, or the 5 of Swords with the Ace of Pentacles could be the covering on one's life, like a covenant. Page of Wands, 6 of Cups, 7 of Swords, 2 of Cups. So we have a pair of twos, we have a pair of eights, we have a pair of fives. Page of Wands, 2 of Wands, wanting options, wanting to choose. Page of Wands, 7 of Wands. It's feeling like autonomous is what this is. Feeling on guard or defensive. There's some defending a position here. There's almost like an energy that's mobilizing because we are able to choose something that is aligned with our soul. It might be a soul contract, an agreement. 6 of Cups means many things. A lot of times we talk about the past, the childhood. The past is we were once in heaven and now we're on earth. So it's really a spiritual compact, an agreement. There's an energy here that's upset that we can choose somebody that's not them. And I don't really want to talk too much about a person, although it's very clear to me there is another person here. Hangman, 8 of Cups, Lovers, 2 of Swords. Yeah, we have a lot of twos. I was talking about choice versus decision. Well, the decision is 2 of Swords. The choice is 2 of Wands. And then Lovers with 2 of Cups, that's soulmate union. King of Wands with the Lovers card is Pisces rising or Sagittarius midheaven. So a few days ago, a choice started to come in or towards us. And it's almost like we've withdrawn or we've gone on or somebody procrastinated or they were short-sighted. There might have been some kind of outlaw in our group. Lovers card, Hangman, King of Wands, Lovers, 2 of Swords. The Lovers card is union, communion, partnerships. It's also people with close access to us, confirmed by the 2 of Cups. There's a connection. Because for Aquarius rising, the sun is moving through our fifth house. For Aquarius rising, the sun is moving through our fifth house. That's our drive, desires, passions, motivations, ambitions. That's our love we give ourselves and others, where we go to play. That's our generative energy. There's an energy here in a group. It could be a social group, it could be a community, even our network in some kind of way. Now, I want to be clear, they would live within 400 kilometers, meaning they live less than 250 miles away. They procrastinated, or They voided a connection to us because they wanted to grab onto something else, but it was the wrong decision. There was some kind of short-sightedness. And slowly but surely, they're going to come around to this perspective, and there's just going to be energy that shifts. The thing about this is that there's a delay here in love. Hangman Lover's card. The only other determination for that is that this is definitely about the chosen, but over on our end is choice. Over here, there's a double five, which means, and I dislike to say this, but the Five of Swords is the disgraced or the fallen. Five of Pentacles is the untouchable. We also have Tower Lovers card here, so it's almost like brother sister energy. Doesn't have to be blood related. But some people you know from earlier in life, like your neighborhood, they were your neighbor that lived down the street. You went to school with them, or you met them at your first job before you went on your career. It was like a little side job to make a couple few bucks while you're in school or whatever, what have you. You know, before you got serious or got on that grind, that thug this or that hustle, that flow. You know, it's one of those new from earlier in life kind of energies. We're going from this revelation towards this withdrawal. We're going from this revelation tower towards this withdrawal, Eight of Cups. This tower could be a rupture. It could be some kind of um, truth coming out as well. But Hangman with the tower is an energy of passive aggressiveness. So this is saying that there's a little slight energy here of fighting back rage because we wanted to be chosen and we're feeling like something's still in our hand, but it's becoming more and more and more and more and more clear that it's kind of gotten out of our hands. Maybe something slipped through our fingers. Maybe a truth came out that is saying like, hey, just so you know, that path isn't as easy or clean to choose anymore. Because when we leave something behind, we're actually going to come into reconciliation, but more when we mature. King of Wands. King of Wands takes the longest to mature. Some of the kings can mature before 35. There are people that are born with really good emotional intelligence, but the King of Wands is according to drive, desires, passions, motivation. So you have to kind of strike your will upon the universe, and it takes you a while to really believe in yourself and believe in that the universe wants to co-create with you. So the King of Wands is saying here, like, we got to move on, move forward, move to higher ground, leave something behind, or withdraw our energy all the same, not be attached to something, because then we can expand. We need like we need resources to put into things, and I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about time, energy, effort, and attention. That's kind of what it's going right now. So we were up until recently, maybe discerning, but some of us were like second guessing. I'll be honest. Some of us were like had some stinking thinking. Five of Pentacles. We were moving slow instead of like rushing towards the things that were calling to us. And sometimes we got our heart set on something, so we kind of stay stuck or stagnant or circle the drain a little bit. And the thing is like choose what's choosing you. This is communicated here. Choose what's choosing you, because sometimes you'll walk a little bit forward and then the universe will cycle you back or merge the past in some other way. I heard this example where the universe is manifesting through how we make our choices. So the universe, it can weave and it can do all that, if that makes sense. But when we're like trying to second guess and trying to worry about what the reaction or what the response is instead of just worrying about what's alive in us, that's when certain things happen, if that makes sense. That's when things get confusing or they get stuck and stagnant and slow down. Because there's definitely some type of Sagittarius rising here, and now we have Gemini rising with the Knight of Swords, Knight of Pentacles. This could be a Capricorn rising with the Devil, Nine of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, Nine of Swords, Death card. It's being kind of mean to us, but It's saying that we were spiritually attacked in some way, and it might have been going over a long time. I don't know what else could go on here because with the death card, it's supposed to end unless some kind of energy is being projected our way for the death energy. And then we have three of the. I remember I was saying the baneful brigado. There's three cards: the death, the devil, and the tower. That would suggest Ooga Booga, Ooga Booga. Well, we got it. The death card you can kind of interchange with the moon. So the moon is not here, thank gosh, but we still have a pair of eights and a pair of fives, which suggests, witchcraft spell work. We have the devil here, which suggests that it's slightly negated by the Knight of Pentacles. But come on here, the Nine of Swords, the King of Wands. That means a warlock, somebody that's energetically targeting a demonic attachment. There is light at the end of the tunnel, but it might come really when you get to the end of the tunnel, and it could be a transition one too. This isn't looking good in some kind of ways. So we have this transition here, death card. Okay, it's inevitable ending. It's a threshold really, and there's something that we have to do, and it's taken us a long time to do it. We might have to move on, move forward, and we're kind of stuck. There would be shame, guilt, according to remorse, regret. If that's not the case, we're being haunted or targeted. We're in some kind of crosshairs here. Now, when God loves you, the thing about that is that the devil also really loves you. So if we're getting blessed, if we're getting highly favored, Six of Cups here is anointing. If God really loves us, that means the devil also really loves us too, because we're a target. And I don't necessarily mean it that way. I mean, this is as much literal biblical as it is esoteric and metaphorical. So if you're not down with the Bible or down with religion, the devil could be the part of you that's unawakened. The devil could also be the part of you that is fearful and ignorant in some ways, or the devil could be the part of you that is self-sabotaging. We take it as it resonates. But the Knight of Pentacles with the devil means Mars in the 10th house of Mars in Capricorn or Capricorn rising. Knight of Swords with the Lover's card. Mars in the third house, Mars in Gemini, Gemini rising. Page of Wands with the Lover's card. That typically means that we're dealing with a Gemini rising. Also a Pisces rising. If there's a Pisces rising, Saturn's in the first house. If there's a Gemini rising, Mars is in the first house. We definitely have Mars in Gemini as well. And we have Gemini rising. There's no way around it. We have both. So there's probably somebody who's a Gemini with Mars in their first house, Mars and Gemini. Because there is some energetic targeting here. Or we're going on the cycle where things are getting progressively worse, Nine of Swords. The word for that is distress. Because Two of Swords, there's this desire to either obscure something so we can't see it, or because it's also Five of Pentacles. So there's some type of stripping, energetic siphoning. There could have been some delay that made a disruption and created a bit of a death. But in the end, we end up walking on, carrying on. I want to check this Ace of Cups, Two of Cups. Vertex of Abundance is the galactic temple of ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. If anything resonates deeply with you, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a session, send a donation. From Etsy, we will be using the Pop of Love Oracle to deliberate any findings over pairings related to union. We have the Two of Cups and the Lovers. That's the soulmate union. Twin Flame came out. It's reverse because it gives a narrative. Upright. There are cards that give a reverse meaning, but these cards that I pulled aren't it. The signs will give a reverse meaning. These come with the narrative. So let's read the narrative. I recognize our connection was intense and it still burns my soul. It's a connection that can never be broken, but it is one that must be balanced in order to move forward together. I'm devoted to returning to you. I'm starting to feel hopeful about our future because I see you as a big part of that future focus. And then Dark Night of the Soul. Nine of Swords could be a Dark Night of the Soul, same as the moon. I'm fighting my demons and re-examining my actions. It's a life-altering, also extremely painful. At times, I fight against the changes, but I know it must happen for me to evolve. You betcha. Yeah, confront the things deep alive in you. Enhanced awareness of identity, an extremely difficult and painful period, personal and deep development of oneself. Twin flame, purpose to live life separately, learning lessons, possible reunion after becoming stronger and awakened, single soul split in half before reincarnating into two separate bodies. Currently, we're in separation, but there's not enough cherishing between us. It's more infantura, infatuation, or infantilization. Um, Deep differences in the narrative. Even if I'm gone, I'm still connected to you in some way. I cannot cut you off completely, but I'm afraid to return. My only interaction with you is through your social media. I miss you. Yeah, I'm hearing that song. It don't matter who you are or where you are. It is so simple. I feel it, and it's everything. That's cosmic love. Yeah, past life. I feel it, and it's everything. We're in a situation where things are freezing up. We're going to need to reach out and touch grace. We're going to need to go towards the divine. We're going to need to lean into our spiritual practices. Six of Cups, Hangman. We're going to have nowhere to turn but to God. And in that, and it took a long time. A lot of energy came up to constrict and to slow us down. From the minor arcana of cosmic tarot, we'll be using this deck from Lillian Lazenby over at Ripe Avocado to deliberate any findings related to like pairings, doubles, triples, a set, which is quadruple. That's over at Ripe Avocado. And the Virtues of Abundance is the Galactic Temple of Ascension, delivering messages from behind the veil. If anything resonates deeply with you, go ahead and smash that like button. I was looking at the Knight here. We have a Knight of Swords, Knight of Cups. Excuse me, Knight of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Wands. So we have a triple Knight. Three Knights mean a convergence. It's like a point of intersection, which means something is loosely related, but in terms of an activity or an event, not just a cycle or a system. King of Swords, Knight of Wands. So Knight of Wands is the returner, an energy that keeps coming back. With the King of Swords, meaning judgment, execution. King of Swords, Ten of Swords, wanting something to end or wanting something to break down or wanting something to lift so that there's a breakthrough. Eight of Swords, wanting something to yield to authority. So we've been kind of in a tough spot for a while, and it needs to lift, it needs to move on, it needs to move forward. So this Two of Swords, a pair of twos means partnership. The Nine of Pentacles, Page of Swords, we're just now learning to use scrutiny and discernment. We might be observing a situation that to everybody else seems very confusing. Seven of Cups, there's a glamour, mirage around it. Ace of Cups with the Nine of Pentacles. So there is a choice here in love, and there's an energy that's agitated that we're not choosing them. Because about a month ago, something stood its ground. But we have Six of Wands, which is triumph, victory, or glory. Queen of Cups, which is having someone's heart in her hand, or tolerance, or receiving the unconditional love of the divine. Ten of Pentacles, which is a legacy or family planning. So it could be business, estate, corporation, husband, wife, kids, home, generational home, an estate of some kind. Page of Wands, wanting to get out there and cut it up. What is this pair of eight? It can be a spy, something thin, embedded, yeah. Page of Swords, Three of Swords, feeling triangulated, feeling blocked. Because the message came in late. And with it, we delivered the truth. And this other side is like, okay, now I'm wounded because I didn't know that I was chosen. And unfortunately, I felt rejected. So I took a decision that now I wouldn't have taken if I knew the truth. Okay, but did you come seek the truth? What is this pair of fives? Queen of Pentacles, Six of Swords. So we were ready on the ready, and something could have came towards us, but didn't. With the Seven of Pentacles, there was some kind of strategy. The thing with the Seven of Pentacles, same with the Seven of Cups, it's a plan that might not work. So you need to see more pentacles in order to know, especially like a royal, like a court card, because there was some indecision on the fence, a lack of discernment. We have this pair of aces. Seven of Pentacles came back with the Knight of Pentacles. So there was rowing, excuse me, uh, sowing so we could reap at another time, investment so we could yield at another time, but it was all about waiting for another reunion recollection, and they were left alone. Nine of Pentacles, and it took a long time. Knight of Pentacles, nine and Knight of Pentacles. It's being left to your own devices. So they tinkered with the timeline. They wanted to bring something in towards them. They probably looked at other options. That's what I'm getting. This has very much relationship all over it, but it's talking more about this other side, not necessarily about us. And that's happened to me personally, although I'm not an Aquarius rising, I'm an Aquarius moon. But I've run into several old flames over the last week or so. Even as early as today, a handful of them, more than one or two. And it's not just running into them, they've come across like the Facebook, or I got an email from somebody. People are popping up on WhatsApp. I mean, it's like everywhere. I don't know. I need to check where Venus is at. But for Aquarius rising, it's fifth house energy. The sun right now for the next month or so will be moving through your fifth house. So there's going to be all this sun, like a solar event. It's called a solar ingress. So there's going to be growth, expansion, vitality, renewal, reinvigoration. And then the things that were in the shadows or hiding in the darkness, it'll come to light. typically to heal. Um, like think of the sun as it kills mold, it kills the stuff, the decay, things that are hiding in the dark. The ratas, the cucarachas, they think of the sun as like turning a light on in the dark. So I see that we went through it, but we healed. But it also involved us having to let some things go, leave some things behind. The light at the end of the tunnel is like love will come when we walk away. Messages are coming in when we're no longer waiting for them. That's the thing that I'm getting. It's been an honor and a pleasure to serve. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. You go ahead and take a great care of yourself. We're going to say a quick prayer, my dear, for all that's still lost out there, to illusion, delusion, confusion, lost in the seas of time, trapped somewhere in the matrix, yet to heal, yet to awaken, yet to return to the resplendent grace of the divine, unconditional love and universal oneness. We love you. We're sorry. Please forgive us. Thank you. We pray that your steps are ordered, your path illuminated, and that you find salvation and redemption in this lifetime until we meet again, until we read again. Namaste, Dandava, and Ashe. Sayonara, das vidanya. Auf Wiedersehen. Take good care. Bye bye.